welcome everybody. I am glad to be here today, day 2, NAB 2022, for our fireside chat at LiveU. And joining me on the set today, Chris Burgos from NewTek. Thank you, Chris, for being here, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's great.
A senior sales engineer. I love that title. And hey, we got somebody behind you over your right shoulder.
That's true. We have Justin Miller with us.
Justin Miller, yeah, another sales engineer.
Justin Miller is very new to the sales engineer team. We've had a lot of success in the last 2 years. I'm sure you guys have too. And we were expanding, and Justin is one of these guys joining us, and he has a wealth of knowledge and talent. We're going to showcase that a little later.
We are. And Justin's joining us all the way from San Antonio. Justin, welcome.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, too. And, you know, we're going to be talking a lot today about NewTek and the TriCaster and what we're doing with LiveU and the TriCaster and the connections and all sorts of fun stuff. So you're going to really like this session that we got planned for you. But before we dive into that, what I'd like to do is make sure everybody gets to know who you are and a little bit about NewTek. Now, you know, you probably already know about NewTek because they've been around for a while, just like LiveU.
Yes.
But let's find out a little bit about Chris's history and a little bit about NewTek.
Sure. NewTek has been doing, probably most famously, everyone will know us for the TriCaster. We've been doing live production switching. Recently, we've been doing NDI. We're a big force in IP, and that's been going on. NDI a little over 7 years around in that space, and TriCasters have been going on for a lot longer than that. So really live production, streaming is our focus, and similar to you guys, we care about production quality. And a little bit about myself. I'm out of New Jersey. I've been doing this since 2011 using a TriCaster. And I've also been using your guys' products for a while, but I've done a lot of focus on all kinds of live events. Sports of any kind, esports, you name it. But
I love those outfits, by the way.
Speaking of our collaboration, this is me in 2013 with a LiveU pack. And when we were going through this, I said, hey, I don't know if I've shown you, but I've been using your guys' product in the field myself for a very long time. I mean, it's an amazing peanut butter and jelly combination of two great things that you know will work, that you know will be effective in the field.
Yeah.
And so here I am. This is a Parks bike race.
This is way before my time. I've been here 6 years, but this is looking almost like you're going on a camp out. That's an LU70, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be.
Yeah, so you look at your
the backpacks are so smaller now.
Right. Yeah, you guys have tons of efficiencies, form factor.
Exactly.
But it's been a production tool for a long time, and I think that's the great thing. We're talking about two things that are used in the field by professionals. And I think I even asked you, how long we were talking about NDI for a second. How long has LiveU had NDI implemented? Yeah,
so we announced our NDI support for NewTek at NAB in 2016.
Wow, so that was like the first American. Wow.
Yeah, I think we were one of the first, if not the first, NDI partner announcement for that.
It may be because 2016 was when we had it first stateside. It was out a little earlier. We announced it in IBC, but like in front of everybody, in a version everyone could work with. NAB was that first thing, so you were part of that initial release. Wow, that's a long time to be working with us directly.
It is, and we love NDI, and it's a great platform. We're going to talk more about it later.
Yes, we will. But right now, we're going to get into the TriCaster 2 Elite. If you guys aren't familiar with TriCasters, we do all kinds of live productions and streaming events, often used a lot in the field by all ranges, from broadcasters all the way down to guys running their own business. And we're going to be talking about the TC2 Elite. And if you stay through this, actually, my partner Justin Miller is going to give us a live demonstration remote from San Antonio, so we'll get a little interactivity with that. I want to go over a couple things with the TC2 Elite. We're here in NAB and we don't have one physically, so I always like to show everybody, hey, here's what the back of the box looks like. SDI inputs, audio inputs. It's a IP native device, so we give you a 10 gigabit network for it. We need to give you more. There's so much more going on in IP. You guys are just as much part of that as we are, and your bar of quality means that we want to make sure that we give the most IP capacity on our boxes. Speaking of sources, we talk about things like SDI, but we also have things like LiveU, Skype, Teams, Zoom, all of these things you can bring with Live Call Connect. Justin's going to demonstrate that, but we work with all kinds of IP sources.
Yeah, and then Live Call Connect is awesome. I mean, this is something new, and it's something really cool, and I think when we talk about it later, I think everybody's going to be blown away by what you could do with it.
If you haven't seen Live Call Connect, this is going to be pretty cool. But I also like to highlight that we do every kind of IP source that's available that we can, so it is really a flexible production tool. the goal with what Live Call Connect is trying to do is we've all been in these meeting rooms, Zoom, Teams, etc. for the past 2.5 years. Everything kind of looks like that box on the left. Well, with Live Call Connect, we can break us out from that sort of Brady Bunch look into individual video feeds and then pull that into our video switcher. And that's actually what Justin's going to showcase in a few moments here, but it's really easy to use. So rather than having to have a laptop and a converter for everyone who's calling, host the call. You can host the call or join the call from the box, and then pull everybody into the live production, 2 button presses. It will always work. You never have to troubleshoot. You never have to think. If you can join the meeting, you can use Live Call Connect.
You couldn't get it down to 1 button press, Chris?
Well, we want to give you guys some flexibility to assign them how you like.
Okay, flexibility. Ease of use and flexibility.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
And this dovetails amazingly into what you guys are doing at LiveU, and I'll give you a few seconds.
On the 800, I think
Yes.
when we're talking about Call Connect, right, it's the ability to take in all these different sources, right? And LiveU 800, we've got it right here on the set, and we're going to be showing it in a minute in a live demonstration for the SDI feed here. But with Call Connect, the 800 is a multi-camera device, right? So you can take 4 devices, single, dual, 3, 4 cameras. You can send all those feeds back into Call Connect and then split them out in any way you want. And I think that's really pretty awesome to do. And that's one of the other things too in the next slide is air control, right? A similar device for us, but a software device where you're able to divide up all your participants, not use Zoom, not use Teams or other devices. Actually, just bring in high quality sources, 1080, super quality. Synced audio and video and bring them into the same connection,
exactly,
and then split them out. And I think that's one of the most powerful things that we're able to do as a partnership together.
Definitively, I think LiveU's bar for quality is part of the industry. Like, it matches what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
We all use Teams, we all use Zoom today, that's part of it, but we know what we're getting. The video quality is going to be as good as they can give it to us, which is, it's fine, but what you get with the LiveU box is so much different. And so the pairing of these two things, the fact that you guys are now in the cloud with your air control, the fact that we can do remote operations with TriCaster means that your production doesn't need to be as far as you can drive in a car or you can get a plane ticket. You can really distribute this stuff. And not everyone has to be on site with you to actually make this run. And I think that's where there's a great pairing where you can use the Live Call Connect platform for backhaul for your team all around the country, and then use the air control and use the LU products to get these high-quality sources in. So lots of different operations.
Yeah, and I think speaking of that, too, we just announced something called Cloud Connect here. Yeah. So not to be confused with Call Connect, but Cloud Connect. So you don't have to be on-prem anymore. And, we've always had an on-prem solution, and we've always had a cloud solution, but it's just been RTMP. But now we're doing RTMP, MPEG-TS, we're doing SRT, and also now NDI out of the cloud. So you don't have to have that server anymore just to feed NDI out to a spigot, in an on-prem solution. So it's great to have a cloud solution that takes NDI and sends it into this solution as well.
You're right, George. And before we get too deep into this, I want to go over a couple quick things before we toss over to Justin. TriCasters come with premium access, so the full feature set of things you normally pay for with NewTek products, it's just rolled in with TriCasters. New graphics platform, KVM for remote control, virtual PTZ capability, the ability to have advanced audio with Dante, just amazing feature set in there, really what production teams need. And recently, TriCaster's got a gigantic expansion in what they can do. And on the 2 Elite, that means you can work with things like FaceTime, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, in addition to all the platforms we had before. So really, really cool stuff we got going on. Here's just a quick look at it. NDI Genlock is something people have been looking for, but the Elite is just jam-packed. But before we get there, I want to talk about, and obviously we have lots of TriCasters. We have the One Pro, which just came out, suits different needs. I want to hit really quickly our PTZ3 camera. So we got a ton of feedback from customers, people doing this. And one of the biggest things they wanted to do is first have color options. Now we have it in black and white. But second, they wanted it to have better audio options and actually be a different form of quality. And we have that now with HX3. We're looking at 80 megabits per feed, and we're giving you audio quality that's in XLR. So people who are using PTZs in the field, they wanted this stuff, and we listened, and we made this new generation of PTZ camera. And with that, Justin, if you're ready, I'm willing to toss to you, and could you give us a nice, slick demo of the TC2 and hammer that Live Call Connect for us?
Sure thing. Alrighty, so you should see our interface coming through right now. This will be the TriCaster 2 Elite. Real quick demo of Live Call Connect, of course, as Chris covered it. covers over a ton of the comm and telecom applications. Launching this is just as quick and easy as, for example, Zoom here. I will launch the Zoom application. You'll get your Brady Bunch look here. And then this widget at the top here, this is all us.
Hey, Justin.
So yes, sir.
We have interface. Could you pop us over to the Live Call Connect window?
Oh, sure thing. Yeah. Alrighty. So we should have that on your screen now.
Yes, sir.
So this widget at the top of the screen here, where you just see the cog and the live button, all we're doing is we're hitting that live button, and then we will intelligently extract those remote callers and allow you to assign them as inputs in the TriCaster interface. So we'll go ahead and jump back over to that primary interface real quick.
So just for reference, that's normal Zoom, normal Teams, WhatsApp, the application you'd run at home normally, you're going to install that on the TriCaster, and Live Call Connect's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Not a special app, no special plugin. We make this thing work with as many platforms as we can, and so that's the goal, is that you guys always have an option.
Right. And then we will map those directly to inputs as if they were localized. You'll notice that since we're extracting this at software level, we have also taken out the title banners that you'll recognize in Skype, Zoom, Teams, and so on. And so from there, we can do very neat stuff. We can come in here and set up different compositions. We can do our squeeze backs. We can toss it over to our remote presenters, such as Chris here, who is coming in through that LiveU encoder, coming in live. So it's a very simple format that we have, very flexible solution, Tencent, Discord, FaceTime, Facebook Messenger. So, and you do get, of course, that audio mux in our audio interface, so that we can bring that in via the apps channel, and then you can put it through some integrated software-based processing. We have a 7-band equalizer. We do have our neural voice isolation, which is great for local talent. That's going to be unique to the TriCaster 2 Elite and the 1 Pro. And that is an AI algorithm that will extract your vocals and just block out all of that background noise.
And Justin, just to...
As you're familiar, working from home, sometimes you have the dogs bark and you have the computer fans running in the background to pull all that out for you.
Yeah, so neural voice isolation is a great piece.
Yeah, so Justin, just to make sure we're clear, right? So we're sending this camera input straight back to you there in San Antonio to our physical server, and you're adding that into Call Connect and then splitting it out and making an independent feed and able to manipulate it in any way that you want. And essentially, we could do the same thing, basically using any of our devices.
Exactly.
The LiVU 800, the air control, we can bring it in and again treat it as an individual source.
Yeah.
Mix it out
no
any way we want.
No different than any SDI camera would be.
Exactly.
Video playback source. It's just there.
Right, and the same thing with the Cloud Connect now with that NDI output. We could do the same thing through the cloud, and it's just an amazing feature. I love how that works together.
And what Justin's showcasing is that we have a brand new audio bus to go with this that's very flexible. He had that on screen a few seconds ago. Really, the TC2 is a broadcast behemoth. It does all forms of production, and I think if you haven't seen one, we're not too far away, in a few bits over. But really, you can go to our website, book a demo with us. We'll talk with you guys. We're working with LiveU all the time. You know, this is a constant collaboration. And Justin, thank you, man. I really appreciate walking us through that really quickly. Do we have a...
Yeah, we definitely... Justin, thank you. That was awesome. And Chris, I want to thank you, too. We've got a little bit of time left for some Q&A, and we've got some people here. Some have come forward to sit down. Some are back there watching in the back. But what we'll do is, if you raise your hand, if you have a question for Chris or myself, just raise your hand. We'll take a question, and we'll repeat it for the audience who's watching. Does anybody have any questions? Just raise your hand real quick. Anybody? In the back row, we have one question right there. What is it?
So how is NDI coming into, from, let's say, from air control?
Yeah.
How is like a cloud NDI coming into TriCaster?
So this is
repeat the question.
Yeah. So the question is, and I think this will be some for you to answer, George. You guys have this new cloud-enabled service that's generating an NDI feed, and the question is, how is he getting that into his, into his machine in San Antonio?
Yeah, so it's an NDI outsource, right? So it's going to come straight in via NDI to your
right. But are we using a software or hardware interface? I know in this instance,
yeah, it's a
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, it's a software interface.
Yeah, so software generating the NDI feed that's coming from the LiveU setup. And then NDI on our side, you're familiar, so
Correct.
Easy to use then.
Yeah, and you could also, if you had the on-prem server like we have in this case, what we did was we sent a physical LU2000 down, and we're doing a physical server in this case. But with the Cloud Connect, you could do it in software.
And just for reference, I think, Justin, did it take you, if you're still with us, it took you guys like, what, maybe 15 minutes to do this whole thing?
Oh, tops.
Yeah. This is,
Yeah.
just like any other NDI feed implementing this, it's very straightforward.
Any other questions in the audience? Anybody else? Anything else? No? Okay. Well, Chris, I want to thank you again for being here. It's always a pleasure.
Yes.
I want to thank you, too, way there in San Antonio.
Thanks, Justin.
It was great to see you as well. And everybody, stay tuned throughout the rest of the day. We have some other exciting demos coming up. We've got Bird Dog coming. We've got Avid. We've got product demonstrations coming out through the rest of the day. We're going to have a lot of fun, and just stay tuned. And we'll see you a little bit later. Take care.